The Full Circle Podcast. Compelling interviews and incredible tales from Colorado's western slope, from the mountains to the desert. Christi Reese and her team hear from the movers, shakers, and characters of the Grand Valley and surrounding mountain towns that make the western slope the place we all love. You'll learn, you'll laugh, you'll love with The Full Circle. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Full Circle Podcast. I'm your host, Christi Reese, and I am honored today to have as our guest Matthew Breman and Mike Bennett from the city of Fruita. Matthew is the mayor, Mike, city manager. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We love Fruita. Yeah, we really do. What a great town it is. And it's a town or a city?
City.
It's a city of Fruita, yeah.
Just about 14,000 people.
Mm-hmm. And that encompasses what area?
6.8 square miles. And we go from the south side of the interstate, the Cocopelli area, a little further east, and then all the way to, it's kind of jagged. It's not a perfect square, but with 16 Road. And then how far north do we go?
About L Road.
L Road, okay. And then it's unincorporated Mesa County.
That's right.
Above that, yeah. Lots of development going on in Fruita. How do you feel about development north? It's something we need. We need more housing. Is it a double-edged sword, or what's your thoughts on development?
I have my own thoughts. I'll let you go first, though.
Yeah, I would say that the development that is occurring right now is all within a planned area that's called either within the city limits or within the city's future growth area. So we've spent a lot of years planning, and in 2019, we engaged over 4,000 of our residents to update our comprehensive plan. That led to how we grow, where we grow, and revisiting the previous decade-old comprehensive plan. And so we've made specific changes related to the feedback from the community. And we're seeing the fruits of those code changes immediately, from apartments in the downtown area.
Yes, that's super exciting.
We have, affordable or workforce housing near the new elementary school. And we have single family homes, single family attached, detached. So it's all been planned. The infrastructure is planned for that growth to fill in to those areas. So I always often say it's like a coloring book, and it's zoned for certain types of development, and we're seeing it happen. But we grew from 2008 to, we grew from 98 to 2008, and like double-digit percentage growth rates year over year. And we've averaged 1% for about 10 years, and we're hovering in that 2% right now.
2% growth in your population every year.
But there's 1,200 homes on paper under development. So it can take 5, 7, 10 years to build out. But to answer your question, is it a double-edged sword? Yes. We need the housing. We need workforce housing. We need all of that. But we also want to maintain kind of the small city feel, the hometown feel. Everybody gets to know the neighbors, and trying to balance that growth with the feel of Fruita and still respect the agricultural roots that are there, but yet understand the needs of our growth.
Mm-hmm. I think every municipality struggles with that to some extent, right? Keeping the character of the town and not losing that charm, but providing for the people that want to live there, because lots of people want to live in Fruita.
It's a cool place to live.
It is a cool place. And it's not just mountain biking, right?
No.
What do you love about Fruita?
Love the music. A lot of live music going on in Fruita. Thursday night concerts are my favorite. Love going down there. You get to see your neighbors. That's kind of what I consider more hyper-local events. You get to see a lot of people you know. That's probably my favorite. I am starting to get into the biking scene more. I've kind of drug my feet getting into it, but I just bought a new bike the other day and jumping into that one.
Right. Did it cost more than your car?
No.
Okay. They say
but you're asking the wrong question, which is the cost of the car, cost of the bike. That's probably my favorite. I love, going to the grocery store, and you go to get one thing, and it can be 45 minutes because you just run into people, and you have all those side conversations, and you find out how people are doing. And I mean, that's the joy of it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Mike? What's your favorite things about Fruita?
Yeah, I love the people. The people are so positive, love the area. My dad was in the Army, so I grew up all over the country, and it was such a welcoming community, and I felt that for the last 10 years. Obviously, the access to the outdoors is so easy. It's so easy to incorporate into your life and not have to plan a trip. You can get out and hike. I love to hike. We love to camp, my family and I. We love to mountain bike. There's a lot of water opportunities now, even more than there used to be. But I'm with Matthew. I love the Thursday night concerts. And we've added other hyper-local events like the movie nights in the park in the fall and things like that, because it's fun to be with people. You always see people, and it's really positive. Of course, we have, the tough things we have to work through as a community, but people have a lot of love for living in Fruita, and that's a lot of fun to be a part of, not only working, but living in the community.
And I will say, as we have an office in downtown Fruita, the business community is so welcoming. I mean, roll out the red carpet. It's been really wonderful. Speaking of business, is the commercial center and infrastructure and the businesses that are there keeping up with the growth in the population?
Yeah.
They are, and there's been a lot of new growth that's happened. The farm, I don't know if you've been out there,
yes.
The Fruita Arts.
Yeah.
That's great. The kind of along that line, the old powder coating building, that's being redone. That will become a commercial space. We're getting more and more of that coming in. And I do think it is keeping up.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I want to go back a little bit and talk about your personal journey to Fruita and the Grand Valley. So let's start with you, Matthew. When was the first time you came to the Grand Valley?
Probably 2003. I remember that because my son turned 1 when he was here, and it was our first visit.
You had relatives in the area.
Yes, my dad moved out here.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you think? You were just visiting. You weren't looking to move at the time.
This is horrible to say out loud. For us, it was kind of like sushi. So, which is the first time somebody says, "Oh, let's go have sushi," you're like, "Really? Yeah. Why would anybody want to eat this?" Yeah. So you go, and then you're like, "Oh, okay." Second time, they're like, "Do you want to go have sushi?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, I get it. Like, okay, I'll do it." And the third time, you're like, "I would love some sushi." And it was really our third visit here, which my wife and I were looking for a change of life. Style. We never lived and worked in the same city and all that sort of stuff. And it was just like, yeah, this is it. It was maybe a bottle or two of wine and some conversation at lunch. And we're like, yeah, let's make this happen.
I've talked to a lot of people, being in real estate, talking to them about their first impression of town. And a lot of people who came here without having been here before to think about moving, say they fly in and they're out there in the North Desert where it's kind of dry, or they're looking at the landscape and thinking, I don't know. And I say, you just got to spend a little time here and you'll figure it out. Let me tell you.
Yeah. And Mike talked about it. It's just part of when we decided to move, it was we wanted a community where we could get involved. And not every community is like that. And here it was, oh, you want to get involved and willing to roll up your sleeves? Like, come on in. Like, it was very, very welcoming, unlike any place I'd ever been.
And you worked in Florida for a long time in
for about 20 years.
Nickelodeon and Disney. Really interesting background. How do you think that background has helped you in your leadership role in Fruita now?
That's not where I thought you were going to go with that question. The great thing about the entertainment industry is you have to be both business-minded and creative all at the same time, and be able to deal with when the roof caves in, how do you make it work? Like, okay, there's going to be lots of challenges, and you just kind of learn that the normal pace of things, and you just roll up your sleeves and you get things done. But it's that balance of, how do we be creative about how we solve these business problems? I mean, that was part of what my job was at Disney, was here are very real business problems, be creative in terms of how you solve it. And it kind of dovetails really well.
And you have a marketing background as well.
Yes.
Which I know helps in all forms of government. I mean, just thinking creatively about your town and how we can promote it.
Yes, always thinking about that, the communication that needs to happen. It feels like half of the job of what we do is making sure we communicate. And Mike has a phenomenal team. CR out there does an amazing job of getting that communication out, but it's always part of that thought process. If we're going to do this, how do we make sure that the public understands? How do we communicate it effectively and minimize, you can't get rid of it, but minimize the opportunity for misunderstanding?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Same question for you, Mike. How did you get to the Grand Valley and to Fruita specifically?
Yeah, my undergrad was in journalism and public relations and marketing. And then later I did a Master of Public Administration. And after grad school, I was moving to North Carolina for my first job with city of Hickory, North Carolina out there. And I remember driving through the valley, and I remember coming down through seeing, Palisade and seeing those orchards and just kind of seeing the vistas and thought, this is beautiful in a different way than a lot of places I lived. And then that was that, right? Then I worked in North Carolina. I was there almost 9 years, had a really fun career with, or time period with the city there, and learned a lot. And then got to a point where we were debating if we stay in North Carolina or if we come back west, and we wanted to be in Colorado. I went to high school in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and fell in love with Fort Collins and Colorado while I lived there. And we decided we would look in Colorado, and we were visiting some family out west when I saw the posting for Fruita, and just felt like I should look into it more. And the more I looked into Fruita, the more excited I got. And the more I looked into the whole area, the more excited I got, and it worked out. And my family and I, we have 3 kids, and we love it. We don't want to leave the area. We love this place, and it's just been a wonderful career. It's been great as far as work goes. What I really love about the fact of, like we talked about earlier, of the people and people wanting to continue to fill this small town atmosphere is when we engage with them, we really dove deep into what does that mean? Because all of us could answer that question differently. And the values that came out of the community feedback is something that we deliberately focus on when we make decisions. And it's fun to be part of that because there's a real purpose, and there's a deliberate approach to when we look at economic development, when we look at housing, when we look at marketing the area. Those are at the forefront, so that as we grow, we're only building upon that value, that those values that mean the most
that the residents have expressed to you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. How often do you work together? I mean, as mayor and city manager, what's your daily relationship like? What's your communication like?
We have a standing one-on-one every Thursday, which was scheduled for an hour. I don't think we've ever made it less than an hour and 45 minutes. So we have that as a standing meeting. And then I'm very guilty of sending emails out at odd hours. And a lot of it kind of goes back and forth that way. And then it's a lot of text. Yesterday something came up. I'm like, hey, Mike, can I give you a shout? And he's like, yep. And that was, half-hour phone calls. So we talk probably daily.
Mm-hmm. Because you are seeing, I'm guessing, you're seeing the issues arising quickly. Things are coming into your office, and you're disseminating information to the mayor and the other government officials. Yeah.
Yeah, a big part of my role as city manager is to make sure that the mayor and the city council are informed about that they're informed, that they have the information they need to make policy decisions, and then that I'm making sure that we as a team of all the employees at the city of Fruita are implementing the policy and then overseeing all the operations. So it's a full-time job for me, and it's a part-time for the mayor, but it takes a lot of time. I don't think people realize how much time is volunteered by city council members, and especially a mayor, and it's a lot of fun to work with Matthew. I think because we're both super passionate about it, and we just enjoy it and have a lot of fun. And so
we also have similar management styles.
True. Yeah.
And that I'm so appreciative of Mike, because I'm like, I'll send him a spreadsheet because that's part of how I process. And I'm like, hey, I have a stupid idea. And send them a spreadsheet. And I'm like, what do you think? And I'll be like, help walk me through this. Okay, I see where you're going with this, not how I took it. And then we just kind of have this ability to take each other's ideas and just build upon them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mike, what do you think are the biggest changes that you've seen in your tenure with City of Fruita?
Yeah, well, some of the exciting changes have been just building the team. We have overqualified, exceptional people that work at the City of Fruita, and it's so much fun to work with them. And I remember starting the job about 10 years ago. October will be 10 years, and there were great people that worked there, but there weren't a lot of people that worked there. And we haven't added a ton of positions, but as we've grown and tried to meet the demands of the community, we've been able to recruit some really talented people that can do my job, that can do many jobs at the city. And that creativity, that's been a big change. I mean, we're able to do a lot more than maybe we could do earlier, and we were doing a good job, but I feel like we've taken it to from good to great. And the other would be in the community. We've definitely seen a major change with housing. I'm sure you're very aware of that. But the cost of housing, and that's not Fruita alone, but that's definitely something we've experienced, and that was at a rapid rate. We also came from a time of maybe one type of product, and so we're meeting that demand of multiple types of products. But the prices are high, and that's a challenge for those that want to live in Fruita, where once it was a community that you would get that first house. And a lot of young families did that and moved into Fruita, and now it can be a little more challenging price-wise, depending on circumstances. So we're working really hard on that. I would say those are probably two big changes that I've seen. And then otherwise, we've been able to add a lot of amenities and a lot of more localized events to complement, what people want to experience that live there.
Yeah, and it's such a nice complement to Palisade and Grand Junction and what they're doing. You can go find something fun to do any day of the week in the Valley. It's so great. Matthew, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing the City of Fruita right now?
Managing the growth is always going to be a challenge. It's a good challenge to have. I'd rather have that than the opposite. And once again, trying to keep up the feeling, the kind of vibe, the funkiness of Fruita, and making sure that continues as we continue to grow. That keeps me up at night, and so does looking at, how do we pay for things? What are the capital projects? What do we need to try to stay ahead of? How do we make sure that our infrastructure stays up to date? And it keeps up with the growth, and how do we not get so far behind that now it's like 10 times the cost to try to get it up to speed. That, and then continuing with economic development. As we grow, we're going to need that to expand. And how do we create those opportunities for people to come in and start their business or grow their business in Fruita? Because
you have a business park out there.
Yes,
yeah,
we do.
Like on the river, close to the river. Everywhere is close to the river in Fruita, right?
Yes. And we also have, the working title is The Launch. I don't know if you're aware of this. It's the old lagoon property, yes, where we now have 41.25 acres there that we're just starting to figure out, now that we've acquired it, what to do with it, and how to grow that and how to have that developed in a way that fits our community, that allows the riverfront access and maybe access to actually like a boat ramp and possible concerts, but also how do you mix that residential and commercial, and how do you work through that so that continues to grow, build out opportunities for businesses and residents, but still keeping it funky Fruita.
Yeah, this is so great. Before the recession, there were a lot of plans for businesses on the south commercial sites, and that slowly started to fill in, but there's still some space over there too, correct?
I don't know if there's much space left. Family Health West has taken over a lot of that. My understanding is all the empty lots have been purchased. So none of those are currently, I don't think, are for sale. And the owners of those are just waiting for the time. But there's not that much space left over there.
Yeah, I think there's only maybe one small, very small retail space, but all the rest is purchased, waiting for various developers.
Yeah, awesome. We talk a lot in the conferences and everything that we have on the economy and the Grand Valley about the collaboration between the municipalities and between the chambers and everything. But it's really evident in the last couple of years that everybody's working together. How do you see that benefiting Fruita, and what are some of the better collaborations that you feel that you have that have been just a big benefit to Fruita? Yeah,
collaborations are a huge part of our success. We often credit the fact that most of the accomplishments that we've made have been through some partnership of some sort. I mean, the project that Matthew's talking about along the river, super exciting public-private partnership, and the way we're going about it, it's a true partnership with a private developer, and we're really excited about that. We do work very closely with all of the government entities in the Valley. One of the nice things about local government work is you share information regularly. I mean, for one, it's already public, but we learn from each other. There's really not, it shouldn't be looked at as a competition in any way, because it's more of a collaboration. I love the way you worded that, because Grand Junction's this hub, and it's definitely the retail hub, and the airport and the university and all these things that benefit all of our communities. And then each community has our own individual character. And it complements everything. We've had some good collaborations with I would say each of them. We've coordinated a lot with Grand Junction's Planning and Development Department as we've gone through a comprehensive plan and land use code update. They've been going through those and comparing and learning from each other how we address ADUs and so many different things like that. The list could just keep going on. We work with the county. There's services the county provides all of the communities, and there really are a ton of partnerships. We do a lot of marketing with Palisade.
The chambers work really well together. Chambers. They do joint membership, joint events. That's been great. But in terms of working across the valley, there's never nobody's trying to get that gotcha moment. Yeah. And it's those conversations happen when they're appropriate. Just so you're aware, this is what's going on and this is what's going to happen. And, can we sit down and can we talk about this issue that's coming up that we have to figure out? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is nice to be able to pick up a phone and call somebody and get a call back. And it's very much like, how can we help you?
Yeah, there isn't a feeling of competitiveness among the communities here, which is really nice. It's like, wow, if you have a great thing happen in Palisade or Fruita or Grand Junction, everybody else is happy about it.
For sure.
I would say the most part. For the most part, yeah. I mean, there's times I'm like, we just had a community survey, and I was like, did Junction take the same survey? How'd they do?
Right. And how does the university affect things in Fruita? Do you have a relationship with them? Are there any ties to Fruita or any offsite collaborations with the university?
There's not, at least from my point of view, there's not a direct collaboration. But the university worked closely with the business entities, the chamber, in terms of workforce development. They work closely with their handshake program for internships. I know from the city, that we work closely with them. And I do know, there's a lot of people within the community work at the university, volunteer at the university as well. I mean, it's still a big part of what we do. And then when on the weekends, there's certainly a CMU presence there in terms of the student bodies.
Yeah, I have the opportunity to teach an introduction to public administration class at CMU, and so just in a small way, it's been fun because we've had interns that we've met through. We had one in the last time I taught that class that did communications, and it was through the Workforce Center and the Chambers program and CMU's program, where and it worked out great. And so we have a lot of small connections, definitely personal connections with a lot of the people that work at CMU. And I hope to see more and more of that. But they provide just having that in our area is a massive benefit for workforce. There's so much energy that comes from a campus and from a university and a community.
It's so exciting.
We're fortunate to have that.
I've been at chamber meetings where CMU is there, and it's a workforce discussion. It's like, all right, how can we get our students plugged in more to what's happening here, and making sure that those connections and the communication continues.
I think they do such a good job as well of creating programs or adjusting programs for the needs of the workforce, and not even the current workforce, but looking ahead at what types of jobs we see coming to the area.
Yeah, you have to do some projections. And I do think there's creative leadership at the university that does think about the whole county and not just Grand Junction.
Definitely.
Which I appreciate.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you think are some underutilized resources in the Fruita area that you would like to see have more of a role?
Wow.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's aren't going to be any gotchas.
There's so many things about Fruita. I mean, you've got great hiking. You've got the Colorado River that runs right through. You've got mountain biking. You have dinosaur bones. So many things. Is there something that needs a little more promotion or attention? Or do you feel it's pretty well balanced?
I think it's pretty well balanced. I don't know if people realize that how much music we have going on. There's live music almost every night in Fruita. We're known for great stuff: mountain biking, pizza, beer. Like, a little bit more. I wish people were a little bit more aware of some of the local music that happens in Fruita. Yeah. I can't really think of anything that's like...
So where do people find out about what's going on? Where's the best place to find out about the music going on in Fruita for people listening and watching?
The chamber does a pretty good job promoting, but the city website's got stuff. But look at the Copper Club, Base Camp. They always have stuff going on as well.
Yeah. I would say a lot of the social media sides of the businesses and definitely of the city. There's a lot that's shared for that. I think one of the things that could be underutilized is, oh my gosh, now I just did it. I totally went blank on. I'll think of it later. So.
Okay.
The Bark Park, the museum. I'm trying to go through.
No,
we have a new Bark Park.
Yeah.
A new Bark Park. Talk about that. Tell us about the new Bark Park.
I guess it was 2 years ago. There's land next to a museum out there, the dinosaur museum. And I don't remember whose idea it was. It may have been Mark's. But people have wanted a dog park in Fruita for a long time. And we had this land, and the opportunity came up, and it was within the budget. And then kind of started small, so to build it out, and then now we're adding to it. But yeah, now we have our own Bark Park. It's very cool. There's a small dog park, a large dog park, and we use it quite a bit. And it's great because probably half the people aren't local. They're coming in from the Utah area. They have dogs with them, and they stop there to utilize the park, and you have some great conversations.
That's great.
I would say that the effort to promote the variety is there and worked on regularly. We will, whether we promote it or not, we will always get a lot of attention from mountain biking. And so sometimes people think we promote that only, but we promote the full variety and all the efforts we do, especially on the tourism front. But we get a ton of attention for that because we are really known for that all across the world. And so it's been a benefit, but you're right, there's so many things to do. And I think the more people discover the fact that within 2 to 3 hours you can be at so many really cool places, the fact that you can enjoy, these sunny winter days in the 30s that you can go hike or ride your bike. But if you want to go up to Powderhorn and ski, I mean, those things are, it's so awesome, to live here and experience that. I think
we almost don't want to share it, right?
I know, we almost.
We love it here.
And Mike is famous, different Mike the Headless Chicken is famous around the world.
Yeah, you get some pretty good press.
It's literally, my wife was in Florida and they did a whole article while she was down there about Mike the Headless Chicken Festival in St. Pete. I mean, it's unbelievable, his popularity. Not to take away from you.
No, but to your comment, Christi, I think we've put a lot of effort over the years in promoting both the variety, but also how to take care of the environment that we enjoy. And we've put a lot of funds into actually creating ways to maintain trails and to build trails in a more sustainable manner, and in a way that those of us that live here still have this experience that you can have on a weekday or a weekend. And sometimes those weekends get a little busy, and so we want to, when we look at what we're prioritizing, we look at community first and then tourism second. And that's a value that came from our community. And so we feel really good about the fact that we started early in those efforts and those messages, especially watching other communities that kind of got so far and then they were trying to step back really quickly and say, whoa, now we need to think about this, and this, and we have too many people. And so we've tried to within the influence we have, we've tried to work really hard on that.
So when you talk about that community first, I'm envisioning you have some money to do something with. Think about the connecting trails in town before you go put a bunch more money into mountain bike trails or whatever, right? Like making sure your core is really community friendly.
Right.
I just had a conversation with somebody 2 weeks ago that had just moved to Fruita and was amazed at how she could bike anywhere in town because of the trail system within the community. And that for her was just a win.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So what are you most excited about for the future of Fruita? Are there some projects that you see down the road or some things that you're shooting for long term that get you excited?
Definitely. I'm really excited about the riverfront property that was mentioned earlier. We have we are finalizing our agreement with our private partner, Two Forks Ventures, and we've had some public meetings about everything we're talking about now, and it's exciting because we're looking at this large open space area that is in the floodplain, reworking the bank, rerouting the trail that already goes through this property to the state park and connects to the north side of Fruita and then goes out to Loma, or it's part of the riverfront trail system, and so we're really excited about that. There's also a huge commercial piece to it, and then some residential, and it'll be our first time to connect to the river. I mean, this is beautiful when you connect your community to the river, and we're working with really good contracted experts on the river and the embankment and those types of things. So that's exciting because that'll be an additional space that complements the community, doesn't take away from other areas. We've been really deliberate about the timing of when that would work. We looked into it pretty heavily years ago, and it didn't work at that time. And now the market's where it's at, where I think we've filled in the downtown. We're filling in on the south side and a lot of these areas, so it's good timing for that, and it's a project that our community's been pretty excited about. Another one is Matthew mentioned is on South Mulberry. The city purchased property that used to be a powder coating. It was kind of a non-conforming grandfathered use, and then they expanded out to the business park, and we purchased the property, and then we sold it to a private owner who tied to a parking agreement and a economic development agreement. So There are pieces in there where they are working quickly right now to redevelop the building, and then it creates more retail space that they're working hard to fill in. And so we're excited to see that because it's right in the core of the city.
Yeah, that's a win-win. Getting them out to the business park too. Amazing. Yeah. Anything you want to add to what you're excited about, Matthew?
Right now, Fruita is in a great spot. We're very, very fortunate. And, we got here from work that was done 5 to 10 years ago. And the effort that, people that came before me, that they put in, the foresight they had, and that got us to where we are today. So what I'm excited about is the ability to say, okay, we're here now, and we're in a good spot that we have the opportunity to look down the road 5 to 10 years. And what can we do now to make sure we kind of keep this special? Fruit is kind of special. And how do we keep this going down the road? So I'm super excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Can I see your water bottle for a second?
Uh-oh.
And I want to wrap up with a great marketing campaign. Where you were involved in this, when you were city manager when this came about?
This came about just before I started.
Yeah. It's a big leap. You have to be really brave to do something like that, right? And it's worked out great.
Yeah, and Steve and Denise Height, who are in the copyright right there, are some of our historians in the community, and they did that copyright, and then the chamber actually did the promotion of the WTF, and then on the other side is the city's
city logo,
and
which is great.
A cool story.
Business cards.
Yeah, a cool story about that not a lot of people realize is that our downtown advisory board that we had in 2000, somewhere in the 2012 timeframe, they created that logo for the downtown advisory board, and they took a sprocket from farming and ranching equipment, and that's where the gear actually came from. So it gets related to bikes because it works well with that. But if you talk to someone like Tim Fry, used to give me a hard time about, you want to see what a real bike? And I said, I know, but it's from farming and ranching, and then
there's a very long history of that in the Fruita area.
And we love it because it kind of ties everything together. It's forward motion. When you look at our strategic priority areas, you see why we exist to provide core services, and it's a gear in the middle. And when that gear is humming along really well, what do we want to have a positive impact on? And then you see those strategic areas and other gears, and of course they're all going to be moving forward. And it takes every bit of Fruita in such a simple logo. We hope that will last a long time. And so it's kind of a fun story of where it comes from.
It is. And I don't know if I said to those people that might be watching that don't know what this is, it's welcome to Fruita.
It's important.
It is important, yes. And Fruita does welcome everybody. We want everybody to come visit Fruita. It is a great place to visit, a great place to live, great place to have a business. Wonderful community. Thanks for all that you two do to make it a wonderful place to live.
Well, thank you for having us. This has been fun.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else you want to share?
Anything you can think of?
No, not off the top of my head.
All right.
You've covered quite a bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you to Matthew Breman and Mike Bennett from the city of Fruita. Make sure you go to their website. Make sure you check out the music scene. There's so much to do out there. Yeah, we want people to go and enjoy that music and see the beauty of Fruita. It's just great. So you don't have any volunteer opportunities we need to talk about?
Oh, we tend to have some openings on our boards and commissions. We have numerous boards and commissions, and we have really active boards and commissions that honestly do a lot of work and benefit for the community. So those are great opportunities. I will say too, one thing to add is that we put a lot of information out that not everybody's aware of, but as part of my job, I send an update to the city council every week, but it's public. So We have a lot of people that are signed up to receive kind of as a newsletter. They receive that every Friday. It's on the website. You can go back to, not that you might want to go back and read all those, but you can start and it's a really easy.
And you can sign up.
You can sign up right on fruita.org, and it's a weekly update, and it hits the highlights really quick, and it's where those events are and things like that. It's a really good way to keep up.
There's a question of the week, which people are asking. There's all the development. If people want to know what's being built where, that's all in there.
Great resource. Fruita.org. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. This is Christi Reese. We'll see you next time on the Full Circle Podcast. Thanks for listening. This is Christi Reese signing out from the Full Circle Podcast.